What is going on, guys? Sincere here with whoissincere.com and the All Rights Matter show, All Rights Matter TV. Listen, I'm tired of it. I think you're tired of it too. What is this whole Russian collusion thing that's going on? What is it? What's it all about? Um, I think that we really need to have a discussion about it on my channel. I haven't really talked much about it, but I kind of honestly thought it was eventually going to go away um, and be wrapped up, relatively in a quick fashion with Mueller's investigation. But I'm seeing that's not the case. I'm seeing there's a couple twists and turns that are taking place here. And I think I really want to cover this extensively through an article and a video on my channel. So I've already written out an outline. Um, the article's going to be called Trump's Collusion, Russia's Big Secret. So if you're watching this video later on, like tomorrow or the day after, if you go to Google and just type in Trump's Collusion, Russia's Big Secret, the article will show up there. It'll be written on uncorporatemedia.com. But I think that we need to really talk about the collusion that's really going on. And it does have a little bit to do with Russia, but nothing with Russia and Donald Trump, okay? So we're talking about a, a, a massive amount of collusion that's happened within our federal government between the RNC, the DNC, and their representation of who they are to the American people and what their mission and objectives are as far as the American public. Um, there's no other way to put it, but we've been bamboozled as a country. And that is the only thing that's at a critical point right now is the level of deception that is going on um, at a high federal government level and also at a corporate level who is deeply in bed with our government as well as our banking system. With all of that being said, this witch hunt into Donald Trump as far as this as far as him colluding with the Russians, there's just no evidence of that. As a matter of fact, the evidence would state contrary, that Democrats have been colluding with the Russians. So there's some strong information that I'm going to be giving out in that article. And I think that you should really, really, really read this article I'm going to write. It is unlike anything that's out there because I don't believe that mainstream media nor independent media are putting the pieces of the puzzle together appropriately. So that's what I want to do. I want to put the pieces of the puzzle together appropriately, and for that, we're going to have to go all the way back to Obama. We're going to have to go back to Obama uh, because there's a lot of information there that you really need to know between Obama, Clinton, and Putin. So, with that being said, the real collusion does not lie with Donald Trump and the Russians. I'm tired of that garbage narrative. Now, will we find money tied um, from Trump to Russia? We are absolutely going to find that. They're absolutely going to find it, and it's going to create questions, and they're going to exacerbate that by constantly repeating the narrative of collusion over and over and over again. Now, the problem is that Trump initially scared of and I'm just going to put it as it is scared of how this was coming out, as far as him colluding with the Russians, downplayed it too rigorously as far as he has no deals and no business with the Russians when his children have already admitted that they have, and he himself has admitted in the past that they have plenty of interest with the Russians and plenty of money has been exchanged. um, so his downplaying of his connection with Russian business interests is not going to be very helpful, and it's something that could, I guess you could say, he could perjure himself in front of Mueller. Okay, so they do not want Robert Mueller to be able to question Trump for hours on end because Trump's not going to be able to stick to one story. That's one thing that we know about Trump. Um, he moves in the moment. That's just who Trump is as a person. He switches his position on his ideology quite frequently. And he'll backtrack things that he said because he's forgot other things that he said. So Trump is not, the most he's not the best dueler when we're talking about verbal communication. So I don't think it's going to work out well if Mueller investigates Trump. I don't think they're going to find anything dealing with collusion. I really don't see that happening. But what I do see is them being able to ramp up collusion even more based off the fact that Trump will be caught in a couple of lies. Um, Again, those lies will not directly point out collusion with with Russia, but it will make it appear to be that way. Um, with that being said, again, I don't think Trump expected this to come his way as far as the Russian thing, and I don't think he expected it to go on this long. And I bet he wishes he could take back his downplaying of his Russian business interests, and in hindsight, just come straight out with it and say, "Yeah, I'm a businessman. I've of course done business with the Russians, but that has no bearing on me running for president of the United States." If he would have been more honest and more forthcoming in saying that, I don't think that we would be at this point right now. So I think that a large part of the misstep is on Trump's behalf because he tried to downplay this thing. Um, and if he wouldn't have done that and just came out right away and said it, he would have garnished a lot more public support. Um, and it just would have been, really hard to press him on any kind of Russian connections because he would have been so forthcoming and honest about it, and the public would be, you know, largely on his side. So, it doesn't look good for him, but at the same time, I'd seriously doubt that they're going to give us any evidence ever that there was a direct conversation that said that the Kremlin or Putin are directly influencing the outcome of the U.S. elections just to make sure that Donald Trump got into office. I wholeheartedly, and I mean this like wholeheartedly, I wholeheartedly disagree with anyone who thinks that's the case. I really do. I really do. And, you should really question yourself as far as hard evidence. What have you been presented with? And you can honestly say you've been presented with nothing in regards to hard evidence that Trump was purposely groomed by the Kremlin and Putin, and that he knowingly, let's say this, he was knowingly groomed by Putin and the Kremlin to get into office. Now, could an argument be made that Putin and the Kremlin have, um, in a way, influenced those who are around Trump? Absolutely, that can definitely be made. That argument is I would be interested in the topic of that discussion because that would say, hey, okay, well, they do have an interest in our political um in our political policies, within our country, but um they don't have the interest in the way that people think. So the interest that they have may be from a standpoint of getting their sanctions dropped, and not just their sanctions dropped, also restoring business relations with a lot of U.S. entities so that they can get out of the economic slump that they're in. Um, with that being said, Trump is in a precarious position. He is. And anybody that knows me knows I am no Trump fan. So, to see him in this precarious position, I'm okay with it, but I also am not going to I'm not going to put myself in a position of lying and saying, yeah, he definitely colluded with the Russians, and to go blindly along with a narrative that is proving every day to be an empty narrative. We can see people around him getting in trouble for certain things, and they don't disclose certain speeches and certain, finances on trips that were, made abroad to maybe meet with Russian investors or businessmen. Um, so yeah, it does look murky, and it can look murky, but I honestly don't think that any of this points to Trump colluding with the Russians directly to win the election. I don't see that happening. But there is another collusion that is well more probable and highly likely um that is going on that not one investigative reporter has covered. All the facts are out there in the open. And I'm going to cover it. I'm definitely going to cover it. So if you're watching this video, just make sure, today is the 24th of January. If it's by the 25th, 26th of January, just go into YouTube and type in Trump's collusion, Russia's big secret. And my article should pop right up because I'm going to go ahead and write that out tonight. But we have to really talk about what's happening in this country. And it's not this. They're going to try to get Trump on you know, they're gonna try to get him to lie. That's all they're doing now. They're gonna try to get him on obstruction, um, for what he did to Comey as far as firing Comey. They want him to lie, so they're gonna start getting Trump statements, and it, it's a bad day for Trump because I don't think he can do a whole interview without contradicting himself, and I think that in the long run, this Russian thing is having definitely a negative impact, but I believe that it's all engineered to be this way. It's just that Trump was not in the know of this being engineered to be this way. Trump knew a lot of other things before he decided to run for president. Okay, and if that can give you any kind of hint to what my article is going to be about. He knew a lot of things before he decided to run for president. Um, but what he did not know is uh, those people were going to those people and others were going to put him in a position of international public scrutiny. So, and I don't think he was mentally prepared for that kind of a challenge. So I think you should read the article I'm going to write, and I think you're going to agree with me when I bring all the facts out through the article, because I don't want to talk about it in this video until I write it all the way out, and then I'll do another follow-up video to this after the article's written. But make sure you check out the article that I'll be writing soon, Trump's Collusion, Russia's Big Secret, and you'll find a lot of information in there that is not within the mainstream media's narrative of what's going on. So if you're sick of this, like I'm sick of this, like, share, and subscribe. If you're sick of, uh, seeing these corporate Democrats, just pretty much, you know, uh, not use their power for good, not use their power for good in any kind of way to help the people, then you like, share, and subscribe. If you're sick and tired of corporate Republicans, who aren't doing the bidding of their voters and the bidding of the people, who are subverting constitutional rights within their states to make sure that their people stay oppressed, then you make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Um, if you're a Trump supporter, like, share, and subscribe. I've previously said that this is not a channel for Trump supporters, but this is exactly the channel that Trump supporters need to be on. We can have some open, honest conversations, not trolling conversations or insults, but open, honest conversations. So I think that, excuse me on that, but I think that we need to have this conversation immediately as far as who Trump is and where we're going as a country. If you agree, then make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I want everybody in on this conversation because that's the only way that we can protect everyone's constitutional, God given rights is to have everyone in on the on this conversation. So, like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you click a few of the links in the description box to support this channel. Whether it's just a small donation of $1, 2, 5, 10, whatever you have. You know, a small donation helps. If you don't have that, maybe you can take advantage of one of the business opportunities that are in the description section. So see what's there, see if you like it. If not, that's cool too. But I'm hoping that you guys come with me on this journey as we start having a real conversation about what's going on in this country and what we can do to fix it. Like, share, subscribe, stay alert, stay alive.